What's up, guys? Welcome to Beyond the Press. I'm Jaron Blossomgame, your host. And this week we have Oklahoma City guard Josh Giddey. Josh, welcome to the show, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. No problem. How you doing, though? Everything good?
Everything's good. Back in Oklahoma now, so finally settling in, getting into the swing of things. So everything's good.
Have you gotten your place and all that yet? Or
we did. We actually got it. We got it a couple of weeks ago, but we only moved in yesterday. So got all the furniture in. So we're in there now, but we got it a few weeks ago.
I can only imagine like all the stuff you're trying to get done and going through right now. It's probably crazy.
It is. It's tough. I mean, it's a lot. I thought it was going to be fun furnishing, but it's a nightmare trying to get everything, and you're always forgetting stuff that you need for the house. So we're still trying to get new stuff now, like just little stuff around the house that we need. So it's a long process, but no, it's good to be finally settled in and in our place.
So did you come over by yourself, or you got someone living with you?
No, I'm by myself right now. My family was here for a while. I flew back the other day, but my agent's out here now. Daniel, he's helping me just kind of move in and get settled in.
Is this going to be your first time living by yourself?
No. I moved out of home when I was like 15.
Okay. So it shouldn't be that great. It shouldn't be that great. But it's your first time living out of the country, though, right?
Yeah, first time out of the country.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. So talk to me about growing up playing basketball in Australia. How was your experience?
Yeah, good. I mean, it's different to here. Like over here, they've got like AAU ball and high school ball is really serious. But in Australia, we have like club teams, and I would play for the Melbourne Tigers, who was a pretty big club in our country. And I played there from when I was 10 years old to 17, 16 years old. So all my junior career was there. And then we have state teams where you represent your state in like a national championship. So I played in those a couple times. And then I went to the NBA Academy when I was 16. That's when I first moved away from home. And then did that for about 18 months. Signed professionally to play with Adelaide in the NBL. And then here we are. So it's been a pretty busy, the last 12 months has been really busy, but all my childhood basketball was growing up playing in Australia.
Oh, okay. That's cool. You say they don't have AAU over there?
No.
So in Germany, I'm playing basketball in Germany right now, if you didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm in Germany right now doing this interview. But so they have it where it's like the younger guys can play on the club team, and like it's not really tied in with like school or academics. It's just like basketball. So you could technically be a professional at like 14 or 15. Is it kind of similar to that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's exactly. But it's really like there's never been a 14-year-old in the NBL. Like 16 or 17 might have been the youngest. So, but technically, yes, you can play when you're 10 years old if you want, but no one is good enough to be in the league that young.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard great things about that league, man. Like one of my teammates, Justin Simon, he told me to play against you last season. Yeah. He had great things to say about you.
Yeah, he's good. He's a great player.
Yeah, really, really good defender. Really, really good defender. But okay, so did you play in that for 2 seasons or one?
No,
season?
I played 1 season. So I did one
season.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So obviously you had a really, really good season. When did you always know you were going to go to the NBA, or did it kind of just happen like randomly?
Like I always wanted to go there, but there wasn't probably till maybe like 6, 7, 8 months ago that it was like a realistic thing. But 12 months prior to the season, I was like, I'm going to be here for 2 years, and then maybe I can hopefully get a deal on a team or get a summer league, something like that. But at the start of the year, I never thought. I was on no mock drafts. Not that mattered to me, but it just like it shows that like I wasn't even considered and I didn't consider myself within that NBA kind of circle. And the year went on, and I kept getting better. So things went by really quick. But before the season, I didn't think I was going to get drafted, let alone where I'm at now.
So you go from not having any expectation of the NBA to being the 6th pick. Like that's like unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, it's like it all happened really quick. Like people around me thought I could get here, but like myself, I never thought I used to dream about like being a draft pick, but to be 6 was like wild, and I never thought about it until a couple months ago, really.
Dude, that's crazy. It's interesting for me to hear those stories about when it like clicked for people. Like obviously it didn't click for you until 6, 7 months into the season. Like at like month 2 or 3, you had to know like I'm having a pretty good year. Like maybe this is possible. Like that never came into your head.
It did. Like it did come into my head a few times, but as the season went on, I grew more confident, and that's when it started becoming more realistic. But like I honestly didn't think, and even like as the season went on, like midway through the season, I was like late, like second round on mock drafts and stuff. So I was still kind of on the fringe. But as the season, as it kind of got deeper into the year, I kept getting better. And yeah, I guess things just happened really quickly for me. Like it was literally week by week that I kept gradually building myself up a bit more. And then by the end of the season, I was in a good spot, and that's when I declared for the draft. And I thought I was in a good enough spot to go, in the first round. Like we were confident in saying I could be a first round pick, and then, yeah, I guess here we are now. Yeah.
So did you end up going to the combine?
I did nothing. Like I did 2 pre-draft workouts, but because I was with the national team the whole time, I literally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you only did 2 workouts, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
During my time, I think I ended up having 7 or 8. I was drafted in 2017 in the second round, late second round pick, second to last pick actually.
Right.
By San Antonio. And then I played a year in the G League, and then a year in Cleveland the year after that. Yeah. And then a year in the G League again, and now I'm back. I'm playing in Germany now. But it's interesting to hear your journey and like how you've what are you, 18 years old?
18, yeah.
Yeah, like how you've had this experience in basketball and being able to be the 6th pick, like that's like very, very impressive. And obviously we've had different draft experiences. Like, did you go to the draft in New York?
Yeah, I was at the draft. Yeah.
Amazing experience, wasn't it?
Crazy. Yeah, it is. I mean, just being at the table, seeing all the guys, the whole build up is like really, because you get to New York like 3 days before, then you have like media and all the players are at the same hotel. So it's like when you walk into the hotel, you got like fans out the front, like trying to get photos. And so it's a busy 3-4 days before, but the draft day is like, it's the most surreal day. Like it doesn't really hit you until the couple of days after the draft, but that whole process is like, I wish I could do it again. It was just, it's so much fun and so much excitement, like building up to the whole thing.
Yeah. No. For like, so I had, I ended up having a lot of workouts. So I left my last workout and went straight to New York because I actually went to the draft also.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing, man. Like first off, the combine's the same way. Like you go to the hotel and you have kids and fans outside the hotel, like waiting for your autograph or waiting for photos and stuff like that. Yeah. But the draft is actually, it's like 10 times that, where everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to see you. There's so many things going on. All the hotels have little pop-up shops for you to go get merchandise or whatever. And that stuff's pretty cool, man, especially as a guy, like not ever having to experience any of that stuff. I'm sure that was like really, really cool for you,
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, just like even the fan part of it, because over here there's so much like media and stuff. But in Australia, we have like nothing. Like we've got a few small little media outlets that try and promote players. But here there's like, Overtime, Ball is Life, blah, 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 all those things. And it's just so different, like the popularity of the sport and how much people know basketball players. Because if I was walking around in Australia, like I might get recognized a few times, but over here, like I see dudes walking the street, like every second person knows who they are. So it's just so different in that aspect of things. Like how
is that in Oklahoma City? Like if you see guys walking around, like I think people would know you now, obviously.
Yeah, now I mean yes, but like even prior to the draft, like nobody had any idea who I was. But I used to see like if I went out on the street and I saw like, I think for example I don't remember who it was, but one of the guys in New York, like this was a few days before the draft, and they were walking through the city, New York, and they were just like everyone was just coming, and I was walking by and nobody had any idea who I was. So it's like that aspect of things is cool to see. And it's different how it's changed now, but it's just like shows to go how like interactive the fans are and how big it is over here.
Well, so are the fans different in Australia? Like were you a big deal over there?
Like not at the start. I mean, as the season went on, more people, I guess I grew my kind of person a little bit more and fans kind of knew who I was, but it's just completely different over here. Just as I say, like with the social media side of it and stuff like that, it's promoted a whole lot more here than it is back home.
Yeah. I've heard a lot about that league. I mean, obviously LaMelo played and it kind of got a lot of popularity and buzz. Did you ever get a chance to watch or play against him at all?
No, he was the year before me. Him and RJ Hampton were the year before me and they went in 1 year and then left. So I got to watch them play, but I never got to go against them.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously, seeing a guy like LaMelo, play in the same league as you, being a young guy and a high draft pick, obviously, I think a guy like that, do you see yourself as probably being able to replicate some of the success he had this past season? Yeah,
I mean, obviously seeing what he did in the NBL was like a contributing factor to me deciding to stay there. Just because when he came, like I guess me and nobody else, we didn't know what to expect with him. Like he was kind of a wild card, and I don't think anyone thought he was going to do as good as he did. And he was special when he was here, and then it kind of gave me confidence going in that I wanted to do something like if I could do half of what Melo did, then I'd be happy with that. But and I think obviously seeing the transition he made from the NBL to the NBA is really cool to see because it kind of gives me some promise going forward that there's similarities in the leagues. You've had a year playing against grown men. So that aspect of things is cool. And not just Mel, like RJ as well, same transition they've both made. So see them doing so well, it makes me happy and it gives me confidence going forward.
Yeah, no, I can see that for sure. Yeah, the game is definitely different, I mean, overseas than it is in America, man. Like a lot of people a lot of fans and people who watch basketball don't really understand that until you actually experience it. Like last year was my first season playing overseas, and it's like you have these huge like players like playing on a small condensed court, and the rules are so different. Like you can bump and you can foul, and it's just a different game, and people don't understand that. But for those guys to go over there and have success, and then come back over to the NBA and obviously have success, that's something that I'm sure you're looking forward to. Obviously, having an opportunity to play this season.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, them having such success and me being able to play in that same league, come through the same pathways they're doing, it gives me confidence going forward. Just to know we've come through the same pathway, so we're all, and it's another kind of, they're people to talk to. They've been through exactly what I'm going through now, so
right.
That aspect's good as well.
So growing up in Australia, did you have any legends or people you looked up to or modeled your game after? They could be Australian or in the NBA. Do you have any?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know, his name's Andrew Gaze. He's like a legend in Australian but he's like the Australian GOAT. He was a flag bearer at the Olympics, 5 Olympic Games. He was a legend in Australia. He played a little bit in the NBA, won a championship with the Spurs. So he was over here a bit. But he's like the Aussie icon for basketball. So he was someone I looked up. He coached me all through my junior career growing up. So he was someone I looked up to a lot. So yeah, he was definitely the one for me.
Do you know Matthew Dellavedova by chance?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I played with him in Cleveland, so we were teammates. Yeah, he's one of the best teammates I've ever had. Really good guy.
Yeah, love Delly. Great guy.
Do you know any or have a relationship with any of the other guys in the NBA from Australia?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of them, like Joe, Paddy, Delly, Ben, Dante, all those guys were on, because I was around the Olympic team before they left to go to Tokyo, so I was with them for a couple months.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, we got to know each other pretty well.
Cool. Have any of them tried to like mentor you or give you any advice or anything?
Yeah, well, Joe was the big one for me because all through my NBL season, he was the first one that reached out to me when I very first signed, and then we stayed in contact. He was staying up, late into the night to watch my games, giving me, advice, feedback, helping me out. So he came through that same pathway as well when he was 18 years old. So he knew where I was coming from, and he was good to be able to talk through things with. So he was the one for me that I spoke with, a lot throughout my year.
Yeah, that's really important, man. Like, I can tell you from my experience in the NBA, like the thing you should do the most or look for the most in your rookie year is finding a vet to like kind of gravitate towards, man. Those guys have so much knowledge, and like when I was like your age or even a little bit younger when I was in the NBA, I never like took care of my body as far as like treatment and stuff. And I had a guy named Channing Frye on my team, and he was just on me every day about the small details and about taking care of yourself and longevity and eating right and stuff like that. And, that stuff really matters. I mean, when you're 18, 19, 20, you feel kind of invincible. Like, I can eat whatever and wake up tomorrow and still do a 360 or just do whatever, But as you get older and stuff, you kind of got to build these habits. So finding a good veteran guy to kind of just gravitate toward and learn from is something that I think would benefit you greatly, Yeah,
no, for sure. I agree.
So what are you looking forward to most going into your rookie year? You nervous about anything?
Not really. I mean, I'm just looking forward to like playing. I haven't played a game in a long time, so that's the first thing. Not like, I mean, this is it's every kid's dream to get drafted, is playing the NBA. So there's more excitement. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be nerves, on opening night and stuff like that. But right now, I'm just enjoying getting to know my team, getting familiar with everybody, adjusting to living on the other side of the world. So it's a big adjustment, for an 18-year-old kid to come over to the other side of the world as a foreigner and settle in. So that aspect is cool, and I'm looking forward to it. But just, playing, like living my dream of being an NBA player is what I'm most excited for.
Are you looking forward to going up against any guys in particular?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots. Obviously, like dudes like LeBron, KD, Steph, those dudes that I've been watching on TV for years and years. Definitely look forward to playing against those type of guys. But I mean, there's lots of people in the NBA that I'll be excited to play against.
Have you had a chance to see any of those guys in person yet?
Well, yeah, I did. When we played like exhibition games before the Olympics, and USA was one of the teams, so they had like KD, Beal, Tatum, all those guys. So.
Yeah.
I didn't play in the game, but it was good to get to see them up close and kind of see how
Absolutely.
It's so different. Like up close, like KD is huge. Like, I didn't realize how big that guy was. So
Yeah.
seeing these guys up close and how good they are and skilled they are, it's really cool to see.
My first game in the NBA was against Golden State, and it was the KD Warriors when they had Steph and all those guys and KD and Clay. And I remember like walking down the tunnel before the game. It was my first ever game up, and I was walking and I saw Kevin and Steph, and I was like, "What am I doing here? Like, this is crazy." Like, it just felt surreal. Like, it didn't feel real. Like, you obviously every kid grows up playing basketball, has a dream of playing in the NBA, but to actually like get there, like the numbers are obviously against us. You know what I'm saying? So to actually be able to do that, it's kind of like, wow, like so much stuff had to happen. And obviously, you had to work so hard to get there. And I grew up like a huge Kobe and Laker fan, and when we played in Staples, I was just like, man, this is unbelievable. Like, I grew up like watching the Lakers play, and like now I'm playing in the, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to see that growth and obviously all the things you've had to go through to get to that point, man. It's a blessing for sure.
It is. It's hard to really talk about because, as you said, like the chances of getting to the NBA, like, if you put it into perspective, it's so small because. What is it, like 400 spots in the league, and there's millions of people trying to get there. So
millions, bro.
It's a really like good opportunity. Like, it's obviously a good opportunity to have, but once you're there, it's about sticking. And there's millions of dudes around the world trying to take you a job. So I think that's the fun part about it is you have to keep working. You can't just get there and take your foot off the gas. So
absolutely,
that's the fun part about it.
One question about back to draft night. How was it like walking across the stage? Because for me, the whole process of it was like 10 seconds. And I remember getting to the edge of the stage and I was like, I worked my whole life for a 10-second moment. And like, that's it. Like, it happened so fast, man. Like, did you kind of have that experience where you get up there and like, once you're done, it's like, wow, like that was like, how was that for you?
Yeah, it was, like the whole night was it was like a blur in a sense. Like when you get your name called, it's like you have people at your table, you hug everyone, blah, blah, blah. And then you walk up and the whole thing is just like blurry. Like you don't remember anything unless you got it on film.
It happens so fast.
Yeah, you take the hat, put the hat on, shake, the commissioner's hand, and then you walk off. And then when you walk off the stage, it's like you have all this media stuff. You got TV interviews, radio stuff, blah, blah, blah. So it's a fun night, obviously, but it's like when you wake up in the morning, you just think like, what just happened? Like it's all so blurry, and because there's so much adrenaline going through you, there's so many things going through your head. So it's definitely, I wish I could do it again. Like you only got draft night once, and I just wish I could do it again just to have that feeling. But it was one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, it's just a real feeling, man. Just wait till your first game, bro. Like your first official game of the regular season. Like it's gonna be definitely emotional, but it's gonna be so much fun, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a few rapid fire questions for you. These are like random questions. The first one, let's see. The biggest difference between Australia and the United States?
I think the space on the floor, I think, is because in Australia you can sit. But you want rapid fire answers, or do you want like
whatever you got, bro?
I'll give you a quick. Because in the NBL, there's no like 3-second violation in the key. So big dudes just like sit under the ring. They're physical, they can hit guys. But in the NBA, you have to get in and out of the key. So there's a lot more space on the floor to kind of operate. That's the big difference.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. And outside of basketball, what is one thing they have in Australia that they don't have in America?
Well, right where I am right now is probably a beach. I used to live on a beach when I was in Australia, but I'm in Oklahoma right now, so there's not really any beach. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's a good answer. Your favorite American food so far?
Probably Chick-fil-A or Shake Shack. They're probably my two favorites.
Chick-fil-A is special. Chick-fil-A is special, man.
Yeah, every Australian or foreigner loves that, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the most points you ever scored in a basketball game at any level?
Oh, I think like 52 when I was younger, like a local game or something like that. It wasn't an important game.
52 is still a lot, though.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's like it wasn't anything serious.
What's one place in the world you want to visit you haven't visited yet?
Probably like France.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to go to France. Somewhere in Europe. Like I've been to Barcelona. That's the only place in Europe I've ever been.
I heard Barcelona's amazing.
I loved it. But yeah, somewhere in Europe.
Favorite video game of all time?
It's either Fortnite or 2K.
Not Warzone? You don't play Warzone at all?
No, I don't play that.
Dude, you gotta get on, man. It's fun, bro. It's addicting.
I know.
It's addicting.
Yeah.
The funniest player on the Australian national team?
Joe Ingles.
Joe, for sure.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
And all right, so I kind of asked you this earlier, but what player are you most excited to play for? Like play against one guy. You have to pick one guy. LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, those are all the rapid fire questions. I do have one more. I heard you're like really, really into fashion, and so am I. I was just wondering, what is it for you? Is it shoes? Is it clothing? Or is it something else? Like, how did you get into fashion? Like, what is that? What's that like?
Yeah. For me, it's more shoes. Like I'm getting more into like the clothes side of it, but it's always been shoes. I don't even know. Like I loved it so much. When I was back home, I had like my own like sneaker page, and I used to sell like old shoes and try and get money to buy other ones. But when I started getting paid like in the NBL, I started just like literally all I bought was just shoes because I didn't have to pay for rent. The league took care of that, so I had money and I didn't know what to do with it. So I started buying shoes, and then I kept growing my collection, and now I've got just tons of shoes. But fashion. Obviously, I got Shay's on my team, and he's a big fashion guy. So
big time,
I'm going to talk to him about getting some ideas and clothes and different styles and brands and stuff like that. But I'm definitely getting into it a bit more.
So I'll definitely see you on the League Fix page.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
No, I think I will, man. Do you have a favorite shoe at all, or you just kind of anything?
Anything. Like I like a lot of the Travis Scott shoes, like the Air Forces, the Force ones. But I wear a lot of Dunks. That's probably the shoe I wear the most.
Dunks are my favorite too. I'm a sneakerhead too, man. I got Dunks, the low top J's, high top J's, Air Forces, literally whatever. I'm into clothes and all that too, man. I think that stuff's super important.
For sure.
It's interesting to see like what players have like their hobbies like outside of basketball, man. Like, a lot of people don't really get to know the person one-on-one or their interests or anything. So it's kind of interesting to kind of hear the similarities of what we like or what you and one of your new teammates may like. It's just that stuff is like really interesting to hear, man.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for you, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man. I look forward to watching you play and grow as a player, and wish you nothing but success this season, man.
So thank you. Thanks for having me on, and appreciate that. And good luck to you in your season.
Thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon. See you.